After living in Japan for 13 years and coming back to Canada, there are some things I realized that Japan just does way better than Canada.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another, oh my gosh, Japan is just way too good episode. We're your hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And we'd like to thank you and welcome you with open arms to be our third friend in this natural English conversation where you can pick up new words, phrases, but the most important thing is get that feeling, that fwinky of English, because that's something you cannot find in a textbook. And just a friendly reminder, me and Adam are celebrating 9 years of our awesome relationship, not just together, but with you too, watching and listening to our videos for so long. So we have some cool stuff on our website, but we'll talk more about that later. Today's video, we're going in deep into the mind of the Canadian, as well as the mind of a Canadian, maybe turned Japanese. Today, we're going to be talking about how Japan does things better than North America.
Yeah.
So as many of you might already know, Adam has moved back to Canada, his home country, and has been there for the past 6 months. A lot of people say that within 3 months, about 100 days, your body gets accustomed to its new surroundings. So for Adam, it's not 100% new, but it kind of is because he's been spending the past 13 years in Japan, which has a very different lifestyle to North America. So Adam, I want to ask you how it has been, 6 months, half a year back, back in Canada. And what are some things that you've seen that are kind of lacking when you compare them to Japan?
One of them is the public transportation system is not on par at all. I think
is it even on the meter?
It pales in comparison of Japan. I think the biggest problem is that infrastructure and connectivity is not there at all. And the biggest thing that I noticed, I was thinking like in Japan, when I want to go from point A to point B using the train, type in Jordan, Kawagoe to Shibuya.
Right.
I can rely on that accuracy of the information that I'm getting. Like all of that stuff is like clockwork. And here I'd say, okay, like Brampton to Toronto, for example. Okay, bus coming, 9:45. Go to the bus stop. Oh, it's gone. Oh, next bus, 10:30. What? 10:30? I'm just gonna walk to the next stop. Like a lot of the time that has happened. Yeah,
whoa.
And it's like that. Just that little thing, but it's a big thing that people have gotten so used to that there's no real effective change happening.
The thing that a lot of people do talk about with Japan being really good at is technology. I guess they have enough tech to be accurate with everything that you're searching online to be really true to what's actually happening. And another one would be just punctuality, just being on time.
That's like another ball game. I think because there's so many people here that are from different countries, there's a lot of the sayings of like, oh, that's like West Indian time, or that's Caribbean time, or that's Philippine time. Like that I hear a lot because it becomes like, I'm late because
it's
I'm
an
on
excuse.
A different clock. Yeah. It's an excuse.
Connecting with how you were talking about transportation, those IC cards that work like magic. Like, what is it like when you're riding the bus? How do you pay?
That's the same. That they have the IC cards, but the only difference is the way you
sometimes they don't
charge them. No, they work. They work fairly well. The way you charge them and the fact that you can't use them everywhere, like cash cards. Basically,
the infrastructure of
the infrastructure is not there.
Just made for
the transportation system.
That's it.
The machines, they're all connected to a network. Sometimes the networks go down and you have to pay with cash, but a lot of people don't carry cash now. It's the tech side of the life. You want to live by the cord, you're going to die by the cord. And now I'll go into customer service because of course, Japan is like the king, the head honcho, the top of the top, the creme de la creme.
In the US, we have that phrase, customer is always right. But in Japanese, the phrase is okyaku-san ga kami-sama. That is just solidified as like Japanese customer service, the best.
And it shows like being here, I feel that it's not like they treat customers poorly, but they treat customers in a way that they are just, it's weird to say, just like people, just like humans. No, like they're like humans. They're like, everybody's the same. Everybody gets treated equally.
Equal. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Of course, that's true. We're all equal. But in certain times where it matters, you want to be treated a little bit more favorably, more special than other times. Like if I'm in a supermarket and I go to the cashier, it's fine. Like treat me like a normal person. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. But there was a big situation, and I'm not sure if it's still going on right now, that in the airport, after reopening the borders of Canada and allowing people to come in and travel to happen, people who have traveled long distances, their flight gets delayed, but their baggages aren't returned to them after getting to that airport. They would have to pick up the baggage, and the baggages would just be like in an open hall, free for anybody to take. So it's like that side of customer service where I feel like in Japan, they would do more. You feel the intensity of the staff, whereas maybe in Canada, you don't feel that the staff are trying to do their absolute 100% best to like make you feel like you're worth it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. But how about, talking about customer service, how do you feel about, as you buy some new sweater at a clothing shop, staff, after you buy it at the register, they walk with you like a little kid to the entrance and give it to you. What about that kind of customer service?
See, that I think is going a little too much, because like that's where I want to be treated like just an average
Equal.
Joe. And if the final thing, there's probably many other things that I haven't talked about today, but I'm sure it's going to come up as I continue living on in this country, is the whole people understanding what is theirs and what is not theirs. There was a time we were in the park. My daughters brought their bucket, the sand bucket.
Okay.
So they were playing with the sand bucket, and this child comes and he starts playing along with the sand bucket as well. His grandfather was there. We wanted to go home. We wanted to get the bucket back. And we were asking the child to give the bucket back. Looked at the grandfather, looked at the child, told the grandfather we wanted the bucket back because we're going home. The grandfather was really like standoff, like, I don't know.
Kid does what he wants.
Kid does what he wants. Like, you can try. That's where I felt like if this was Japan, first of all, the parents would have not allowed the child to play with the bucket because it's not his bucket. And they would have talked and communicated to the parents saying like, hey, oh, is it okay? Like, ii desu ka? Can you use the bucket? Oh, sure. No problem.
Yeah.
Second of all, parents would have probably said, okay, Joji, time to give back the bucket. Like they're going home.
Right,
okay?
right. Yeah.
And done some interaction to try and give the bucket back, which I felt like it was really Japanese. Just that like care for other people. Not trying to inconvenience them. We ended up getting back the bucket, but that was the day after because the grandfather left the bucket in the park.
No, you guys left without getting the bucket.
It wasn't an expensive bucket. It was like a little $1 bucket, but just the principles of
this is
the
mine.
Insignificance. This is mine.
Respect.
It's not yours. Respect that. That whole respect factor.
That heiwa o mamoru.
It falls into the respect bucket, the heiwa o mamoru bucket.
Yes.
The kukiyomu bucket. That thing, you can't see it, is what makes Japan Japan, and what makes living in other countries or moving to other countries a little difficult. Yeah,
maybe it's different in Canada, and again, everyone, like, this is very general, like,
right.
We're not saying everyone
like, this is the way, but
if you go to a park in Canada, like, people are going to be taking your buckets and not giving them back because parents aren't watching.
Right.
Specific situations. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would watch and be respectful in those cases as well. Yeah. But I definitely feel like there is more probability, more percentage of that happening overseas compared to Japan from what we've experienced personally.
It's a weird kind of society.
Love-hate relationship.
We start wars and we protect each other from wars. Whereas in Japan, we fight to not have war in the first place. Maybe. Socrates.
So 9 years, me and Adam have been doing this talk show for everyone to improve their listening and immerse themselves like a little baby in a bath of English. And we're here to celebrate. We got some cool goods, merchandise, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies. There's even a little jacket up there, a windbreaker, because it's getting chilly out nowadays. So it would mean the world to me and Adam to see these out in the wild, to see people wearing these awesome apparels, these things that I personally designed. They look pretty dope.
Yeah.
Check out the website, pick something up, support me and Adam. You know, just celebrate you being our friend for 9 years. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Totally.
That's it for this episode. Let us know what you guys think. Have you lived overseas? Was there something that you thought was really weird?
Tell us your worst experience living in another country, and we'll make that another episode.
Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more great talks.
That's it. We'll see you
On the next step.